What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic, bringing you our Week 5 battle for the BBL. Today we're facing off against the commissioner of the BBL and a really good friend of mine, Aaron2420, coach of the Calgary Infernapes. Now, this is going to be a very interesting game because this is Aaron's first time using this new team that he has. He made a couple transactions, quite a few of them actually, and honestly, to me, I don't feel like I like his team as much before. That's because I've seen Mega Lucario used in these. I've never seen Mega Salamence used before, and he has Lucario this time. He also has Darkrai, which is incredibly scary. I've used it before in the past. It's just such a huge threat, and the fighting and dark combination that Lucario and Darkrai provide for each other is amazing because Lucario also provides steel coverage, while Darkrai has an incredibly powerful poison move in Sludge Bomb. So they just cover for each other's weaknesses very well. They both aren't really huge fans of fairies, but they just deal with them in a decent way. Now, looking at the rest of his team, he does have the Mega Lucario, the Darkrai, the Ferrothorn, Suicune, which is one of his favorite mons in the world, Raikou, Monferno, Regigigas, Slurpuff, Nidoking, and Mesprit. Now, the mons I was expecting to bring, I definitely expected Mega Lucario and Darkrai. I definitely expected Nidoking and Mesprit because Mesprit is his only round immunity. Nidoking is just so powerful against me. I kind of expected the Raikou, not the Suicune, and I kind of expected either the Slurpuff or the Ferrothorn. I did not expect Monferno or Regigigas at all, was not even considering them coming. Our team is Primal Groudon, Tapu Bulu, Thundurus Eye, Bronzong, Umbreon, Frostlass, Kadabra, Hitmonlee, Mareanie, and Volbeat. Now the team we are bringing to this battle is going to be a very cool team. I like the team a lot this week. We are running our Primal Groudon here, which has speed for a Timid Nidoking, which is very important. We also live a Timid Scarf Earth Power from Nidoking after Rock, so if he's not leftover, if he's not Life Orb, then sorry, if he's Life Orb, he'll KO us, which is scary. If he is not Life Orb, or if he is Life Orb again, well, it's speed him, which is nice. If he's Scarf, then we'll obviously live the hit, but we will not speed. We also live a non-boosted +2 Dark Pulse after Rocks from the Darkrai, and it sets up and wins because we are running a Rest Talk Bulk Up Fire Punch set. Yes, he has a Suicune, I know that, but we just bulk up alongside it. He's got to use Ice Beam against me because that's the only attack move they can go for. If he decides to Calm Mind, he'll have to Calm Mind up a bunch, and I don't think we get 2 KO'd by Ice Beam at +6, which is fantastic. He definitely gets 2 KO'd by the Fire Punch at +6, which is amazing. And yeah, we have like no attack investment on this set, we're mostly just specially defensive and speedy. That's it. We then have a Blue Lagoon Mareanie, which is our answer to the Mega Lucario because we don't have one. We have Scald, Haze, Recover, and Toxic Spikes. Toxic Spikes is there just in case the Nidoking goes away. It's kind of useful. There's also no real need for another move. Scald is there to kind of burn on the Lucario, do like 30% to it as well. Haze is there to stop anything from setting up. It also stops the Raikou, even the Mesprit, and the Suicune from setting up Calm Minds. Recover for longevity and the regenerator ability, of course. And I believe we take HP and defense. We're never KO'd by CC into Earthquake from the Lucario. Haze stops him from setting up. T-Spike because he has no removal on his team. He has absolutely none, by the way, 0. Very important, except for obviously the Nidoking for Toxic Spikes. Speaking of the fact that he has no removal, I am running a Focus Sash Frostlass here. Annabelle or Frostlass is back with Ice Beam, Thunder Wave, Taunt, and Spikes. I just need like 1 spike up against him, maybe 2. I can be just really devastating against him, which is amazing. If I get up a Toxic Spike and I have to poison the Suicune or the Raikou and I'm not running Rest, then I'm golden, which is amazing. The Raikou, obviously I'm worried about him being a sub-Calm Mind set because that set is kind of scary against me. It's also that I expected the most to come because he can run sub-Calm Mind with maybe a Toxic and a Thunderbolt or something like that, because at that point it's just such an annoying mon for me to deal with, and if he's not running Toxic, he can run Hidden Power Ground or whatnot, and I think that's the only Hidden Power Ground to touch my my Groudon. But yeah, so Frostlass with the Spike should be very good against him, just like Mareanie, and the Toxic Spike should be, as long as we can make sure the Toxic Spike gets up when the Nidoking is gone. Our next mon is going to be our Choice Scarf Hitmonlee with a Reckless ability. I'm running Dual Stab with High Jump Kick and Close Combat because I don't want to miss when it's like the worst situation possible. Close Combat can be very useful in certain situations. We live a Bullet Punch from a Lucario, which is amazing. We have Earthquake as well as one of my last moves, and Knock Off to hit the Mesprit, which is very good. If I get the Mesprit worn down, then he's basically going to be in a tough situation because Mesprit is his only real fighting resist, and if I get the Mesprit gone early on, then Scarf Hitmonlee just comes in and clicks button, which is fantastic. Our next mon is going to be our Thundurus here with the Fightinium Z. I'm running T-Bolt, Psychic, Focus Blast, and Agility. I'm running Z Focus Blast because I want to guarantee the KO on the Darkrai. Like, by guarantee, I mean I want to actually hit Focus Blast. I also want to hit it against the Lucario if he's at under, I think it's like 75%. And yeah, Agility is there to boost our speed because we resist the Bullet Punch 4 times, which is amazing, and we can just obliterate his entire team. Once things are chipped down, +2 Thundurus with Agility is just going to be nuking his entire team, which is amazing. And our final mon is going to be our Kadabra. Yep, Kadabra's coming this week. I'm calling it Zoolander because I don't know, I heard Zoolander in a video and I said, you know what, why not? I'll just call it that for the movie. And we're running a Modest Nature with Taunt, Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, and Counter with the Focus Sash. I mentioned this in the video last week about how there was a Sash Cadaver set or Sash Abras that's really strong, but we basically have speed for base 85, which is the Nidoking. I think all of our mons except for our Marini reach speed before Sash, obviously, or before what's it called? Before any speed boosting items or speed boosting abilities, they all reach speed for base 85s, which is scary because he has a jump. He has a pretty big jump. It's from like the Nidoking to the Raikou. He has the Suicune in between, but the Suicune is, I think actually Suicune's base 85 as well. Yeah, so that's that. That's it. That's our team. We're ready for this battle. I'm ready to get a win because we are 1-3. Aaron is unfortunately 0-4, but his teams have been pretty good. I just think he's been in some bad situations, honestly. But I am worried about this game because Aaron's team is definitely very scary. So let's just go ahead and we're gonna jump right into it. So again, looking at what he brought, I'm thinking my best lead is my Frostlass. He has no removal. Everything is affected by spikes except for the Mesprit, so I'm just going to go ahead and get up my layer of spikes, and we should guarantee probably at least one, maybe even two, depending on what he leads with. So I'm going to lead off with my Frostlass. Leads off with Neko the Raikou. Shout out to Neko Fujinomiya from Masamune's Revenge. Best girl that I have, at least better than Aki for sure. Don't tell Aaron I said that. He's going to get mad at me. But I'm going to go for the spike here. So he's going to go for a sub, which is very scary. Sub is obviously a move that's going to be kind of annoying for me to deal with because this thing does get pressure, and knowing Aaron, he probably has Toxic and probably has Protect on the set as well with Leftovers, because right there is Leftovers. So I don't think he's going to be a Calm Mindset anymore, but I do need to break his sub as quickly as possible. So I'm going to go for the Ice Beam here. He's going to go for a Discharge. Or no, I go for the Taunt actually, because I was worried about him being Calm Mind. It's after this turn I'm worried about it. But based on that damage, I'm thinking he has no special attack investment at all. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what he has. I have no idea what he has anymore. So we'll see. He probably just has the Discharge as only attacking move. I'm going to drink some water. And he's going to go for Discharge again, which we actually DC'd right after this like exchange. He paralyzes us here, and he actually has the full power on us. In reality, I'd gone for the Ice Beam, and I had broken the sub of this thing, but then I died the next turn to the Discharge, which is what's going to happen here. But we decided to keep playing because we DC'd in between me going to my next mon. So I have a layer of spikes up, my Frostlass goes down. He doesn't have a sub up. In this game he does, but in reality he doesn't. And I go into my Groudon here as he is, the taunt is over, I believe. So right here, I'm going to go into my Groudon here as I believe actually, is the taunt around still? Do we have it still? Yeah, the taunt is still up, so he has to go for an electric move, the Discharge it looks like to me. And I'm going to go for the Bulk Up, I believe. I think I do Bulk Up because he's saying he's got to switch out because his team is, well, this thing can't touch me. So I'm going to go for that Bulk Up here as he can just kind of do whatever. I was thinking about going for the Fire Punch, but I believe do I just Bulk Up here or do I Fire Punch? I'm trying to think about what I do. I know he switches out here. Switch out and he goes to Suicune, because Suicune is the best wall that he has to deal with my Groudon. So I'm going to go for, I believe, the Bulk Up here. Is that what I do? Bulk Up? Yeah? No? What do I do? I'm trying to think about it. I go for the Bulk Up, yeah, so that's great. Bulk Up comes out. We are going to be able to get the +1 against this thing. And I kind of was anticipating him to maybe have Roar, but it was a big maybe. And if he did have Roar, then I just have to wait until Groudon with my last mon left, and I could just sweep with it, because if that's his only answer to it, then we just win. So I'm going to go for the Bulk Up again, as I'm pretty sure he's going to go for maybe a Toxic at this point, because based on his spread, he probably is going to go for the Toxic. But he just goes for Roar, so good play on his part. Very annoying, definitely very annoying for me to deal with. But at this point, we are going to be in a bit of a stall, so I'm going to speed this up just by 2 because it is a bit of a stall here. I'm going to go for the Toxic Spikes here with my Marini, as he's going to be able to go for a substitute, which is kind of, yeah, I'm not surprised. Probably going to have Sub, Toxic, Roar, Protect, maybe Scald. Yeah, anyways, Skull comes out, and I believe he has to burn on me, right? Yeah, he has to burn on me, which kind of sucks because it's going to make it easier for the Lucario to get the roll on me to KO. I also get my second layer of T-Spikes here, so anything that comes in is going to get Toxic unless it's the Nidoking, which if he goes to the Nidoking, alright, he's going to take an attack, he's going to take an attack from my Groudon, whatever. I go into my Groudon right here anyways because it's looking at me like he's not going to have any way to hit me, like at all. So I'm cool with this. He's going to go for a Roar here, and at this point I'm thinking, I have to stall him out of Roars. That's 2 Roars, he has 32 of them. I could do it, right? The only issue is, at this point, he's up 6-5, which means he's always going to be able to win the Tire Roar, which is not good. So I go back to my Groudon here, as he's going to, I believe, go for another Roar, I think. as there's, what is going on outside? There's so much construction outside. Yeah, he goes for a roar anyways, and it's going to be able to bring me back into my Kadabra now. At this point, like, I'm not going to attack with this thing. I'm just not. There's no point. I don't want to lose my sash. I'm gonna switch out, and I go into my Groudon again, as that has 3 roars down, and he is going to, I believe, go for yet another attack on me. And this is the last like Stolly exchange. So he goes for the Scald there, does nothing. He's back to full, and I believe I go and switch out into my Marini here, as yeah, I go into my Marini here, as I believe he's going to go for Protect, as I'm going to go for the Toxic Spike, because again, I want to wear down the moves. So at this point, he's revealed Protect, he's revealed Roar, he's revealed Scald, and he's revealed Sub. So he has no Toxic, which means he just can't touch my Groudon. So he absorbs the Toxic Spikes here with the Nidoking, but I just have another layer right away, which is amazing. I don't know what he wants to do, so I'm going to go into my Kadabra. It is my, as I speed it up, or make it back to normal speed, I'm going to my Kadabra here because it's the least important member, as he just goes for his own Toxic Spikes, which is great because that means I can get rid of them with my Marini as well. So Marini is going to be clutch this week. I did not expect him to run a Toxic Spiking Nidoking at all. I expected a Life Orb with 4 attacks, or Scarf with 4 attacks, but he ends up doing something else. At this point, he goes into his Mesprit. I'm going to go for the Taunt. I want to do that to stop him from, because I kind of expect either Mesprit or the Suicune to come in. So I go for the Taunt here. I now go for the Dazzling Gleam because I know I need to wear this thing down as much as possible. Let me do a sizable chunk of damage to him, as I really want to go for the counter there, but I didn't, because I expected him to be a special set. But no, had I gone for counter there, we would have gone second. He would have to choose a sack now. Damn, because now he can go into his Lucario here, and he takes the damage from Spikes. But at this point in time, I just have to basically choose a sack. So I'm just going to sack off my Kadabra. It is my only option to really, I guess, not mess up my entire strategy here, which is to win with my Groudon or my Thundurus. So he's going to go for the Meteor Mash here. He actually connects it. I was kind of wishing he wouldn't, because Psychic would do a ton of damage to this thing, but he just connects, and he's going to get the KO on it. So thankfully no attack boost as I go into my Thundurus here, and this is a big turn because I don't expect him to have Stone Edge. I expect him to have Ice Punch, and I live in Ice Punch, but no, he has Stone Edge, but he misses. That's a huge turn here because Stone Edge would have absolutely obliterated me. There was, I think, only one roll for us to actually survive the hit, and I'm going to go and switch out now into my Marini because, again, I don't know why he stayed. I did not expect him to stay in at all. I expected him to maybe think I would be Scarfed, but no, he actually decided to go for the Stone Edge there, and he misses a second time now on my Marini, which doesn't play too big of a role because we would have lived Stone Edge into Earthquake 100%, but you're going to see Earthquake comes out. It's going to do quite a bit of damage to me. I don't know if he's adamant. He's definitely not adamant. He showed me his team after he's Jolly set. And I'm going to go with the Scald here, and we get the KO on the Lucario. So Marini gets KO on Lucario. Lucario missed 2 Stone Edges, which play a huge role because at this point in time, I have my Thundurus around. And he's thinking to himself, like, okay, this is not good, because he can now go into Aki Atagaki, which is going to be his blue Nidoking. Neko is better than Aki. Deal with it. Just deal with it. Anyways, he's going to get rid of the Toxic Spikes, and this is a big turn because I can switch out into my Thundurus here, protecting the Earthquake, but I also don't think he's going to do that. I think he thinks the Thundurus is very important to me, and because of that, he's going to go for the Ice Beam, predicting it to come in. So because of that, I'm going to go for the, I think I go for the Toxic Spike here again, because at this point in time, do I Toxic Spike or do I Scald? I think I Recover, actually. I don't even know what I do anymore, honestly, because you're going to see he just goes for the Earth Power and he gets the KO on me. So he uses Earth Powers, and I go down. Like, had I gone into my Thundurus, it would have been fantastic because I know he's not Scarfed. I'm very confident that I don't think he would be Scarfed T-Spikes. So I'm going to go into my Thundurus at this point here, and I'm going to go for the Scald. And if he is Scarfed, by the way, then we will guarantee outspeed now, or not outspeed, but he'll have to switch out because, well, he wouldn't be able to hit us. But he is not Scarfed. He stays and he sacks off his Nidoking, which is amazing for me because if he was Life Orb, that means that our Nidoking, our Groudon can just win. He has his Darkrai, he has his Suicune, and he has his, well, so he has Darkrai, Suicune, Raikou, and Mesprit left. In comes the Darkrai here. I'm going to go for a Z Focus Blast. For some reason, he subs. I knew we would have lived an Ice Beam. We would have lived an Ice Beam. But I don't know. He knows I'm not Scarfed. He knows I'm not Specs. So because of that, I don't know why he switched out. I thought he would be like, you know what, or go 1 for 7. I thought he would just attack me. But no, he subs up, ends up being a Lifesaver form because he actually will survive the all-up pummeling because of the substitute. So we're going to take this hit against him. It's going to do, you know, 25% rate sub, obviously. Would have OHKO'd him before had we not. Even if he was Chopper Berry, I think we could have OHKO'd. So the sub is gone, but he is still around. And the Darkrai is very scary. Again, I live the hits, no matter what. I want to go for the Thunderbolt here. Thunderbolt is my best bet. It will put in a range of whatever I want to do after because I'll have the what is it called? trying to think of the name of it. What is it called? The damage off on it. But Focus Blast would KO, but I didn't feel comfortable landing the Focus Blast, and we actually do miss out on the KO by basically leftovers recovery. So had he not been leftovers, we would have gotten the KO there. We would still have our Thundurus round, because at this point in time, I believe I have to sack off. No, I don't have to sack off my Thundurus. I just switch out and I go into something else, which is going to be my what is this thing called? Hitmonlee, because we resist the Dark Pulse and we're a pretty special wall. Like, this does nothing to me, which is amazing. At this point, he is in range of the knockoff because he has an item. If he was Z-move, he would not be in range, but he can't be Z-move, which is fantastic because he's an Uber. Knockoff comes out, and Knockoff will get the KO on me and on him, and he now knows that I am scarfed on my Hitmonlee. So he probably has to make a decision. What do I do? And at this point, he's going to go into his Mesprit here, which is going to be able to take any hit I want to go for. Knockoff is good. I can knock off a Leftovers, which I don't think he is. I can knock off an Eye of Papa Berry, but no, he actually ends up being Culver Berry, so he's going to take this knockoff pretty well, and it's going to do very little damage to him. But the good news is he's in range of a lot of other attacks, which is nice, especially for my Groudon. So Psychic comes out, and he's going to be able to get the KO on us. And I can now go into, I believe, do I go into Groudon or do I go into my Thundurus here? I go into my Thundurus here. I'm going to click the T-Bolt, because at this point in time, it's basically over for him. There's nothing he could really do as I T-Bolt here, and he's going to be able to, I think, drop, right? Yeah, T-Bolt comes out and he just goes down. So goodbye to the Mesprit. It was a big threat out of the way because it could have potentially had Toxic, it could have had Rocks, and it would have been very scary. But in comes the Raikou here. Now I know this thing only has Discharge, and basically from my calcs on him having no special attack, he needs a max roll to get the KO on my Thundurus, maximum. And from a max HP Raikou, we should be able to break a sub every single time with Psychic. Focus Blast will always break the sub, but Psychic is like, I'm pretty sure, like he would have to really make funky EV spreads to break my Psychic, because I am modest, by the way. So he's going to gain back HP from the Leftovers. I'm going to go for another Psychic, as he, I believe, goes for Protect. So now he is at a bit more HP, and he's stalling me out, because remember, I'm losing 2 Protects every turn out, or 2 Psychics every turn out because of the Protect, or not Protect, the Pressure. So we've lost 5 in total, 1 from killing the Nidoking, and then 2 just now. So, or 4 just now, rather. So in comes the sub again, as I'm going to go for the Psychic here, as I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to go for the Agility this next turn. The reason I do that is because I'll be able to get to +2 speed. He won't have a sub up. He'll still be recovering Leftovers. It'll just be a protected turn for me, because I'll be able to get damage off of this thing, potentially even break or lower its special defense. So I go for the Agility here, as he just goes for a sub, I think. And yeah, a little unfortunate here that he goes for the sub there. I didn't expect it at all. I thought he would definitely just go for sub protect, but he goes for a substitute, so he has a substitute up now. At this point, I'm going to go for yet another Psychic, I believe. So Psychic will come out, and I think we explained it already. He never wins this timer stall war. So he decided, I'm just not going to timer stall. There's no point in doing it. There's like 32 minutes left in the battle even, and he could definitely do it. Iron's the king of timer stall. But Discharge comes out, and you're going to see here he actually gets a critical hit, and that stops it from him being a max roll, which is terrifying. The good news is he does not have a sub up. The bad news is it's now 2-on-1, which means he could potentially timer stall me. So I'm going to go into my Groudon here, and I believe I just click Bulk Up, or do I click Fire Punch? I think I click Fire Punch here. I don't know what he wants to do. We won't outspeed him because it's a Raikou, for crying out loud. So I go for the Fire Punch, I believe, here, as he just goes for Discharge, which again does nothing because he cannot touch me. Sub, Protect. Yeah, so he was really relying on Toxic Spikes. Wow. Having Nidoking there was huge. But anyways, we get the KO on the Raikou, and in comes Aqua, which again, if there was infinite turns, if there was no timer, I would win this game 100%. But because of timer, there's still potential that I can lose the game. So because of that, I'm just gonna bulk up a few times. I want to make sure that I can always 2-kill this thing. Always make sure that I'm out of range of it. The good news is he can never. Let me think of this. He can't touch me with anything. There's no damage he can do to me. So the only damage he could do to me would be with, what is the name of that attack? I'm trying to think of it. The only damage he can do to me would be with Struggle. So I need to make sure that I don't go in Struggle range. I have 24 Fire Punches. Now it's down to 23 because I lost one to killing the Raikou. So I gotta make sure I always have enough Fire Punches in the back to get the KO on this thing, or keep it below 100%. So I'm gonna go for the Fire Punch here. We are at +2. We're at the Sun. Look how much damage it's done. This is a Suicune, and it does like just about half. That's terrifying, as he's gonna set up a sub here, and he can just Protect again. Yeah, he can just stall, but I'm going to speed it up because it's not going to happen. There's a minute left in this, and you guys basically know what's going to happen here. There's nothing he can do. He protects, he's just delaying the inevitable at this point. But honestly, I do want to talk about something a bit more important, because this game was decided basically the turn that I dodged the Stone Edge on his Lucario. The reason for that is because he would have killed my Thundurus, he then wouldn't have taken the damage on Lucario. I'd have to go into my Groudon and KO that thing with a Fire Punch, and it just, we kind of established the only way I could win the game would have been if I had gotten some, not really lucky rolls, but some good rolls with Sleep Talk, like the bulk ups when I needed them. The Fire Punch on the Darkrai would have been important. At that point, the Nidoking was still been around, so I need to get the Fire Punch roll on that thing. He was a Sash Nidoking, I believe, so that means it wouldn't have done as much damage to me. It would have done like 70% to me, but instead we do manage to get the win because of the miss there. The miss on the Toxic on the Marine did not matter at all. We established that, but the miss on the Thunders was absolutely huge, and because of that, he ends up taking a 1-0 loss, and when he should have probably ended up winning maybe 2-0 or 3-0. So we do get lucky here, but the end of the story is we actually do get a win. Finally, we're at 2-3 now with a +1 differential, which is insane. I know after week 4, I think we were in the playoff race. We were 1-3 with a 0 differential, but at this point we're 2-3 +1. We hopefully we can sneak into the playoffs now. The bottom of the league is doing really bad. The top of the league is doing really good. The middle of the pack is like everyone's doing kind of like bad-ish. So yeah, we'll see. We are 5 weeks in, halfway through the season. At this point in time, I am really just fingers crossed we can get a win, get good matchups in the playoffs, potentially go all the way, because Primal Groudon not making the playoffs would be absolutely terrible. I would have done such a disservice to them on for missing out on playoffs. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video. Of course, go and check out my opponent's side of the video. It is linked down below, just like all the coaches in the BBL. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.